I don't know, I lost my train of thought. Just something to think about, because it's definitely it's a wake up call when you look at a cross section. I mean, there are 2,600 people on that ship, and what would you say? 75% of them? 70% of them were pretty overweight.
There were 3 people that came up to the track with me every day and ran.
3 people that came up to the track with him and ran every day. I did not run because I had a stomach bug, but so that helped me not even want to eat on the cruise. So anyway, that was that. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about tonight, because it comes up several times with some of my coaches, and I thought it was worth visiting. And I know you guys did role playing last week, but I wasn't on, obviously. But what?
I'm just watching behind Adele.
So what I wanted to talk about a little bit is, I get coaches asking me, showing me conversations with people and like, hey, what went wrong? And how do I do this? And a lot of this is from getting people from like your like page that you don't know. And it's taken a while for me to kind of fine tune, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I've learned a few things. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I generally push 21-day fix on my like page and the 3-day refresh, because I think they are good programs for just about anybody, and it's a good entry into Beachbody, and it's affordable. Like, I like when it's on sale, I like the $140 challenge pack. $160 isn't horrible. But what I found with people, other coaches, sometimes they jump into, okay.
When is the deadline?
I will talk to her later. Speaking of which, so what I like to do, like when somebody responds to a post, obviously private message them. But what I like to do is slow things down. If you spew out, 21-day fixes, this is $140. People are gonna be like, oh, okay. I've also found sometimes if your post is misleading, it can turn people off. I personally I don't put prices on posts generally. I used to, I don't anymore. But, I know some people will do like, how to get 21-day fix for $10. Well, we all know Shakeology is $130 and then $10. To me, that's misleading to people. So I don't recommend doing it that way. If it works for you, great. But I think it can be misleading and it'll turn people off. So what I do generally when I get somebody who responds to my post, I will private message them. And I just like with energy and like excitement, but slowing it down to get to know them. So I will say, hey, thanks for responding to my post. I'm excited that you're interested. But before I give you a whole bunch of information on it, I'd like to get to know you a little better, because I want to make sure this is a good fit for you. So I will ask things like, what made them respond to it? Like, what appealed to them about this program? Is it, the containers? Is it the, is it, 30-minute workouts? Like, what is it? What is it that appealed to you? And, why now? Like, why, and so then I'm like, what are your goals? Are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to get fit, learn to eat better? All of the above. Like, you want to know what their goals are, so then you can tailor your discussion to that. If they're not really interested in losing weight, well, then maybe 21-day fix isn't the right program for them. Maybe they're looking to build muscle and something else is, a better fit for them. You want to make sure you match them with the right program. And then I like to find out what their current fitness level is. Are they on the couch? Are they, have they never exercised before? Are they fit and they just want to get fitter? Or are they, somewhere in between? And then I like to know what they struggle with. They struggle with the food. They struggle with exercise, both. Like, I know some people, like for me, I'll exercise. The food's my problem. So you just want to slow down, and you can ask whatever you want to ask, but get to know them and get, a feel for what they're looking for and what's going to work for them, because they might be interested in the 21-day fix for like the portion control part of it, but the workouts aren't really going to work for them, or whatever it is. But, I think it generally works for most people, but I think just slowing it down and getting to know them is going to give them like the warm fuzzies that you care and that you aren't just out to make a sale. Because you got to admit, if somebody came at you like that, you would be like, hold up, wait a minute, what's going on? And kind of an ironic story. Can I tell that story about the solar guy?
Sure.
Carl had this guy that randomly friend requested him that he knew from growing up or something. And all of a sudden, and I know Amy has said she's had people like start forming with her, and you recognize it now. And he starts forming with Carl very badly, very, very badly. And so he was clearly copying and pasting things. So please, if you do copy and paste, which I'm not against, because when I send out my first message to anybody who responded to like this particular post, I sent the same thing out. I just, changed the name and make sure you fine-tuned it to that person, because it was obvious, like there were questions like, for example, da, 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 da. Well, he copied and pasted the for example, like he did a bad job. But anyway, he spewed and he spewed and he spewed, like within like 5 minutes of starting to form with Carl, if that, not even that. So Carl, knowing exactly what he's doing, he's like, hey, can I give you some advice? So anyway, it led to a P90X discussion anyway. So Carl kind of turned it around on him. But anyway, don't be that person. Nobody likes that person. So what do you do when you're ready to present them with the product? For me, and I have had this discussion with my team, and take it for what it is, because I preach this. There's that Liz Hartke video that I will all day long tell everybody to watch on challenge packs. I offer the challenge pack. There are a few instances where I will not do the challenge. Well, I will always offer the challenge pack, but I will allow just the program. Like I have somebody who's a Visalis rep. Like obviously she's not going to drink Shakeology. She's tried it. We actually swapped, and she's tried it. I think she actually likes it better, but won't admit it. But I'm not going to push Shakeology on her, because it's not going to happen. But I always go for the challenge pack. So when somebody asks me how much something is, I never give them the price of just the program. I always, always, always go for the challenge pack. But you need to, before I even give them the price, I give them the value of what they're getting. So 21-day fix I love, because I feel like you get more, so you can list all this stuff. So 21-day fix, you get portion control containers, the nutrition guide, you get the workout program, you get 30-day supply of Shakeology to try out Shakeology, and you get me as your coach. Do not undervalue yourself and the groups we can provide and the support we provide, because that is huge, because no other programs do this. So don't undervalue yourself in this equation. So, and I kind of joke about it, and I'm like, you get me as your cheerleader or whatever, depending on, the vibe of the thing, of the conversation. But I always say, so 21-day fix, you get the portion control containers with the nutrition guide, you get, the workout programs, the 30-minute workouts, you get 30 days of Shakeology, you get me as a coach, and you get all that for just $140, like right now. And I go right for the $140. I very rarely have anybody push back and say, well, I don't really want the shakes. And if I do, I will dig and ask them why. People have the craziest reasons why they don't want Shakeology. I don't like to drink my food. I I don't like shakes. I've tried it and I didn't like it. And if that's the case, I usually say, well, did you try one sample? How did you make it? Because we all know most people do not make it right the first time. And we all know, like, I didn't love it at first. And yes, there was an aftertaste, but I would be willing to bet none of us now know realize there's an aftertaste, because and people think it's a artificial aftertaste, and it's really the opposite. So people are just not used to it. So I'm like, try it for 30 days. Don't forget, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if they don't like it, they can return it. Like, don't undervalue that either, because that has definitely helped me get some sales. Because you don't like it, 2-3 weeks in, I'm like, at least give it a try for 2 weeks. That's usually my request. Give it a try for 2 weeks. And if you don't like it, you can get your money back. I just lost my train of thought. I don't know if I had something else. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. So who goes for the challenge pack sale right off the bat? Yeah. I can honestly say I never sold a challenge pack until I started doing it this way. And when we came into the business 4 years ago, when I came in, there weren't challenge packs. So it was a whole different, it was all different. So the challenge pack, and don't forget, coming up, we're going to have the added value of the on-demand for the challenge pack, which I think, don't underestimate how much that is going to change things, because Carl's already got somebody that's like, tell me when it's going, because that's what they want. Who has been able to take a sneak peek at it? Have you guys been able to? I think it's awesome. It gives you all the nutrition guides. It gives you the calendars. It does a really good job. And sneak peeks at other, like there's one like Fix Extreme workout, 121-day fix workout, and they're going to tease other workouts and stuff. So it's definitely going to be an added value for the challenge pack, because you get it for at least 30 days, and then you can add to it. And I don't know, did you guys get all the survey for it? Those of you that are, and it was trying to figure out the price point that people are willing to pay for it, and so that was kind of interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the price point of the club change. What's he eating? The price point of the club changing. Sorry, the dog's chewing on something and I have no idea what. So is this plan for selling challenge packs foolproof? No. Like, I struggle. It's not easy for me. But it has definitely helped me change how I do business. But you have to have confidence in what you're saying and confidence in what you're doing. If you're like, oh, it's $140. I know it's a lot. Like, don't do that, And remember, like, to me, I like the $140, $160 challenge packs. That's kind of where my comfort zone is. Because I think $180, $205 is a lot of money for a challenge pack. However, there's people out there that would think nothing is spending $200. So don't ever pre-qualify somebody because they, you think it's expensive. If you think it's expensive, you're going to put that off on them. We know it's all worth it. We know it's worth it, but you need to put that out there to the world. So just remember that, and just be confident in the value that you're providing and that the challenge pack is providing. And, it's tough and it's not easy, but just remember those no's now aren't going to always be no's, or the no's not right now. Like the message I just got, I had somebody last month that came in through my like page. She was like, oh, I just can't afford it right now. And I said, that's okay. And I always do, it's okay. I'm bummed you can't join us this month, but I'm going to check back with you. No pressure. But I'm going to check back with you and, hopefully the time's right, for next month. Well, she just posted that earlier today that she won $900 on a scratch ticket. So I'm like, oh, we're going to send her a message today. So we'll see if we can get her in for March. But, I put back her goals on her too. Like, I know you had goals and I know you wanted to accomplish this, or you have this, that's why you want to know their goals so you can come back at them with, I know you have this wedding coming up and you want to, What? Oh, is it? I was wondering. But whatever, I don't care. She put it out there. So anyway, I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Kim. What was I talking about?
$900. You're following up with her.
She's following up with her. Oh, put her goals back on her. Like, I know, you had this and you wanted to, get in shape for, or, you were worried about this, like whatever. Like, that's why you want to know their goals, so that you can bring it back around to their goals, so you can remind them why they want to do this. I think that's all I had. Anybody have questions? I can't unmute you, but you can unmute you.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
I get the whole thing about taking it slow and just forming with people. I usually do that. But twice this week, I've had people, one was just tonight, somebody messaged me and said, I'm so excited, I just got PIO. And earlier this week, somebody who had been in my free group messaged me and said, so excited, I just ordered 21 Day Fix. Will you help me get my meal plan ready? So I feel like sometimes, how do you get I know how to switch them over. I know how to do all that. But how do you let people know without sounding, yucky, that they need to order through you and not just type in 21dayfix.com and order?
Have you had these conversations about these programs with these people?
The one today, no, because it's just kind of a friend. But the other one, yes, because she was in my free group.
Okay.
And she knew there were, I posted, join my group. I'll help you, set you up with the plan and stuff. And then they just don't always know. They don't always understand how it works. And I get that.
And I think that's a lot of it. It's not that they're trying to not get it from you. They don't understand how it works. So and it's hard, and it's like, and I get frustrated too. Like, I had one of my customers just go and buy a bag of Shakeology. She was a company lead that I've been talking to, and I was like, oh, if you had just talked to me first, we could have, you could have done this cheaper. But you gotta just, don't be afraid to put it out there. And I don't always say I want the commission. Say, oh, just make sure you let me know. I'll give you the link so I can get credit for it. So then it doesn't quite sound as icky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bill?
Yeah, I just wanted to add real quick. One of the things that I do to help eliminate a lot of this that I've been doing is asking them for their email and telling them I'm going to give them a free 30-day trial to Team Beachbody.
Mm-hmm.
When they do that, they put their email in there, they get the free 30 days. They have the option to stay on after that.
Okay.
If they don't, that's fine. But if they ever order anything with that email, you get the credit for it.
Do you do that through the app?
When you have people, what's that?
Do you do that through the app? Or
what app?
What they call an app? That.
On the phone app?
Yeah. Or do you just do it on the website?
I just ask them for their email and I'll put it in for them.
Okay.
So you can actually sign them up.
Yeah,
you get their name and number and just ask for the email. Say, I'm going to send you a free 30-day membership.
Okay.
And once you put their email in, they'll get an email from Beachbody.
And Angie, another thing I used to do, and I probably should again, is when I do free groups, I would request that they sign, or when I send them Shakeology samples, request that they sign up as a free customer. Because that way, like Bill said, they're under you. And, even if you don't have the conversation with them before they order something, they're your customer. So there's nothing wrong with asking them to do that. And you can always just say, just so, you can get updates from me or whatever you want to say. Yeah, the free player membership. They just so you can keep in touch with them or whatever, or just, so that that you're their coach or whatever, it doesn't cost them anything. So just, reiterate that it's just, just for you.
Yeah, I usually say, so you don't get stuck with just some random person.
Right. Who won't care about you like I will.
Right. So would you go back now and fix these two things?
Mm-hmm.
What would you
absolutely.
say? Would you say that I'm just gonna help you switch it over so you can be on my team, or so that
I would first make sure they didn't order through somebody else intentionally, because that does happen sometimes. Like I have somebody I was talking to, and then all of a sudden she was a coach, and I'm like, whatever, but she ended up signing up with a friend of hers or whatever. And so just make sure that they did that it was just an oversight and whatever, because sometimes they do go to somebody else and people connect with whoever they connect with for whatever reason. But yeah, I would definitely follow up with it and, get them switched over if they, especially the one asking you for help, like absolutely. Like I have somebody who had ordered a program from me before. I think she even signed up as a coach because her husband's military. And then just to get the discount. And then she came back, she was going to order from me again. And she'd been inactive for probably like a year and a half. And her husband did the order, and he ordered through a friend of his. And I was like, sorry, you're going to need to go talk to him and, go to him for your challenge group. She's like, he probably doesn't run any. I'm like, sorry, but like not to be bitchy, but it is a business and you need to run it like a business, and you need to, let people know it's a bit, there's nothing wrong. Like every now and then, like, I'm like, I need to, and I just never find the right time. And I guess I need to do it. And I think Craig Smith said this one at a Super Saturday was, he'll just put it out there. Hey, you see P90X3, 21-day fix, Insanity T25 on TV, order them through me, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. People think it's icky to ask for the sales, and, and that's not, people just don't know. People don't know that they can do it through us. And it's the same, other than the payment plans and crap. It's the same deal. Like, and usually you get an extra workout when you order through a coach, and you can't get a challenge pack not through a coach. So ordering through a coach is a better deal for them. So don't sell yourself short either, just make sure you let people know what you do. And I think that's a lot of it, is people just don't understand what we do. They think we work for the company, but we don't. I don't know, but it's something that it's okay to follow up with and check, especially if it's somebody that's asking you for help. We all have given help, and we all, we're here to help, but it is still a business, and it is still, you're out to make money. We're here to get people healthy and fit, but we want to make money. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, thank you.
Next question. You got a question?
No.
Oh, anybody else? Nobody? All right, I'll shut up now. Adele.
Hi guys.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay. So I had my friend messaged me tonight and said, hey, I know somebody who has the 21-day fix and hasn't been able to keep on track. And I'd love for her to join the challenge group, right? Like our team obsession group. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, is she working with someone? Right. I always ask that. It's like my default answer. And she's, I'm not sure. I'm like, well, I need you to find out if she's working with someone or if someone has reached out to her. Because last thing I do is step on somebody's toes. Right. So I'm awaiting that response. But at this point, I always get into situations where people kind of message me and go, oh, I borrowed a program from a friend, or like, however, whatever. Like, I just feel like I need to kind of go, hey, like, my time isn't free per se. Is it kind of icky to say, I need you to, create an account with me?
No, I
So,
don't think
I don't mind working with you, but, I
don't
certainly
think
don't
it's
want
at
to.
all, because it's your job, like I just, you got something to say?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, one of the things I've said in the past was one of the ways that Beachbody measures our success as a coach is by how many people that we can help and bring down the path to success. And one way they do that is by measuring the people that sign up for the free account. It's a complete lie. But they say, oh, okay, so it's going to help you. You're going to help me.
Right.
Okay, I'll do it.
And in general,
It's
people
free.
want to help you. Like, people are all for, like, unless they're working with someone else, they don't care, so don't ever feel bad about asking for that. Like you said, your time is not free. It's really, you need to make your time count. And if you're just giving away time to these people who, borrow programs or aren't willing to commit in some way to you, then you're going to have a hard time being successful,
Well, that's the thing. It's like that fine line. You don't want people to think that you're shallow and that you're in for the money. And, like, I want to help people. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. But, you know what I mean? There's that fine line.
And I a lot of times use it as, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Especially if they bought a program like from the infomercial or Amazon, they got a coach. So we also know most of those coaches don't reach out to anyone. Right. Why is the dog barking? So I don't want to step on toes. If somebody's working with you, I don't want to step on toes. But if nobody has reached out to you, or you didn't order through, somebody you knew was a coach, then let's get you switched over to me. Send me all your info. I'll do it myself. Like, I'm not asking you to call and do it. And let's, I can get you into my groups. If I don't do that, I can't get you into my groups. And I kind of also pose it as my team won't allow it. You know what I mean? Like, my team requires this for you to be in a group.
That you're working with one of our coaches, basically.
Right. And, because we know how it goes. And then they decide they're going to be a coach or whatever. Like, my time is too valuable to do that. Like, I do have some people who, like, I have one person who borrowed PIO. She's been in groups. She's here and there. Like, I think eventually she'll do something, but it's not, she is one of my customers, because I sent her a sample like probably a year ago. And, but she was one of those, I don't like Shakeology. And so she is signed up as one of my customers, I guess, now that I think about it. So if she does order something, she is mine, but like, she borrowed PIO. Like, I had her this close on a challenge pack, and then she borrowed it from somebody. But, she likes it. So that helps. So I guess it's kind of
it's frustrating, right? I mean, it's frustrating because, this morning I spent an hour and a half setting up Hootsuite, got the 21-day fix test group set up. Like, you invest time, you invest. And if I'm working with somebody, I try to give 110%, right? Like, always. And it's just, I don't mind helping you, but
you need a commitment back from them. There's nothing wrong with asking back from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
No yawning, Kim. Anybody else got anything?
So you kind of reiterated a lot of what we talked about last week.
Did I?
Yeah, you did, but it was good.
I was on a boat.
It's always good to hear it from somebody else too, and how they go about doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's something that keeps coming up on my team. So I feel like we kind of can't talk about it too much. You know what I mean?
Well, it comes up all the time, doesn't it? How to seal the deal and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, that Liz Hartke video, all day long, and I'll post it again in Obsession if you want, because it's just.
It was actually posted today in the Coach Basics group.
Was it? It totally, like, light bulb for me moment. So.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Who hit Success Club this month?
One away.
Not yet. The month's not over.
No, you have, what, 4 days?
I don't want to know how many days. I just want to get it done.
1, 2, 3, 4. And it's funny, speaking of that, you have 4 days left. Where did I see it? I don't remember what I said or who said it or where I heard it. But basically it was the I can, I will attitude. You know, even though you only have 4 days left, right? You have 4 days. It's not that you only have 4. You have 4 whole days. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to go above and beyond in the next 4 days to make it happen? You know, it's not what's going to separate you from somebody else or what's going to get you to be successful is you're going to take those 4 days and you're going to do everything in your power to attempt to get Success Club, right? And to sell those challenge packs. You're not going to be the person that says, well, I only have 4 days left. There's no point. March is right around the corner. Oh, well. Right? Because there are those people that go, I only have 1 point. You know what? I'll just save all those leads I have for right now that I have going, and I'll use them for next month. Who's done that? Lisa.
We all have.
We all have. We all have. But again, recognizing it is what's going to separate you and what's going to separate us. And recognizing that, you know what, I can't do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore, and I won't do that anymore. So shifting your mindset. Right, Angie? Shifting your mindset. Angie's been doing a lot of personal development on mindset. And she said that it's really helping. So I think that is it for now. It's all lovely to see everybody's faces. I would love to pull some new people in on this. Our Coach Basics group is dead. I won't lie. It's dead. It's the same people, Heidi and Angie, that comment every day, and Adele. And, you know, it's tough because the content is phenomenal. It really, truly is. The content's great. It's just getting people involved. Whether or not, if you guys have people that are in there, some of you are personally sponsored, kick them in the ass. Be like, hey, listen, you got to start somewhere. This is where you're going to learn. So I know that I have a group text message that I send for people for accountability. And I text them at like 5:30 in the morning. I can be annoying sometimes, but what can you do? So anyway, that's it. We have a minute left. I need to go to bed because I got to be up at 3:45 in the morning so I can be on a 5:20 train into the city. So it was lovely seeing you all in 4 days. Go get those Success Club points because you want to be on the left side with who else? Who hit it already? With me, Bill, and Noelle. Because we're on the left. Nope. This way. Mirror image. All right. Peace out, everyone.
Peace
Much
out.
love.
Peace out. Yeah.
Have a good night. I heard you.